So now you can imagine how difficult it was to observe stars during the night by such kind of things. Okay, the next part is a book story. Why books? Because it was not only one book which everybody know. The first book was wrote in 1514 by Copernicus, and it was the Commentarius, little commentary. In such books, Copernicus just put the thesis about the heliocentric. And he just gave this book to France, so people in Europe know about his theory from these ages. So the idea of heliocentrism is obviously much older. So people ask, why Copernicus is so famous? Because the idea was traced to Aristarchus of Samos in the 3rd century before Christ, so hundreds of years before. It was because Copernicus, at the beginning, had some hypotheses. After that, he prepared some experiment. And after that, he used the mathematics to explain what he observed. It was really something new in a science. It was really something new. And from this moment, people say that science was changing. Because people start to understand that if you really want to work in science, you need to prove your theory. You need to use mathematics as a language of science. It was something which Copernicus did as a first. Yeah, but this was a first book, but the second book, which maybe you didn't hear about, it was a work by George Joachim de Porres, also known as Rheticus. He was a mathematician, astronomer, cartographer, and he was the only one student which Copernicus had. Not formal, but he just arrived in Fromberg because he was very curious about Copernicus' works. We exactly don't know how he knew about his theory, but this theory in Europe was more or less known. And when Rheticus arrived in Fromberg, started to work in Copernicus and prepare this book, the Narratio Prima. It was in effect a joint production of Copernicus and Rheticus. It was some kind of trial for the main work. You cannot imagine now. So he prepared exactly paper about the paper. So in this short book, he exactly presents what will be in the book of Copernicus. Why they did like that? Because they a little bit, or maybe more than a little bit, afraid about church. Because heliocentric theory was very dangerous for a church, because Catholic Church believed that the earth is in the center of the universe. And Copernicus just destroyed this thinking. So it was very dangerous, and he really afraid to publish this book. So they just start from the commentary. And this is the letter which Rhetic sent to someone and explained, I saw the theory of Copernicus, it's very interesting, it's about the heliocentric, something like this. You can find this book. It's really easy to understand because it's not so mathematically complicated. It's a quite short book about the next book. And the next book, the most famous book, Revolutions of the Heavenly Sphere, so the Revolutionibus Orbium Celestium, was the most important book, and Copernicus wrote this book maybe 30 years, so a half of his life. This book was published in 1542, and the legend has it that the book reached him on the day of his death, so allowing him to take farewell of his life work. And Copernicus died between 21 and 24 May in 1543. The postulates in this book are following. All the spheres rotate around the Sun, which is near the center of the universe. The stars are immovable. Their apparently day motion is caused by daily rotation of the Earth. The Earth is moving in a sphere around the Sun, causing the apparent annual migration of the Sun. And the center of the Earth is the center of the lunar sphere. Obviously, you know that it's not true because now everybody knows that it's not a circle, but but at this time it was revolution. Revolution because Copernicus just exchanged the system of thinking. So he moved Earth and stopped Sun. Obviously, after him, Galileo, Kepler, Newton improved this theory, and now everybody knows how it's works. But in this time, it was revolution. But the title not means revolution.